to crack down on looters. And police are investigating the death of a teenager in East London. The 14-year-old was stabbed in Hackney. Those are the top news stories. Let's get the top sports stories. Here's Rob.
Thanks very much, Lorna. Just a few minutes to go until Europe's captain Nick Faldo names his Ryder Cup team following the conclusion of the Johnny Walker Classic at Gleneagles, where the final automatic qualifiers have been decided this afternoon. He'll make his announcement somewhere around 6 o'clock. The real interest now, though, will be who he chooses as his two captains' picks, with the 10 automatic places already decided. Interestingly enough, Oliver Wilson has claimed the very last of those automatic places just this afternoon. His 7-under par finish at Gleneagles, good enough to make the side for Valhalla, and Justin Rose and Soren Hansen will also make their Ryder Cup debuts. We know who the 10 are now. I'll just run through them very quickly. Podrick Harrington, Sergio Garcia, Lee Westwood, Stenson Carlson, Angel Jimenez, Graham McDowell, and Justin Rose, Soren Hansen and Oliver Wilson confirmed as the final three to make up that 10. As I say, who will Nick Faldo announce as his picks? Well, joining me from Golf Punk magazine is Richard Lenton. Richard, it's fascinating now, isn't it? There's been so much talk about the list that he might have. Ian Poulter, people are saying he's already guaranteed him a place. Is Monty likely to show up this time? What do you think?
It's a strange one, Rob. I think you can make a case for 5 players. I think you've got, as a rank outsider, you've got Carl Pettersson, the young Swedish lad, who's been playing so well out in the United States. He had a win out there a fortnight ago. You've got Monty, who can take his game to astronomical levels in the Ryder Cup, as we've seen since 1991. But I don't think he's recovered mentally since blowing the US Open a couple of years ago, and he's had a wretched season. So basically we're looking at 2 players from 3. So I think Faldo always wanted to pick Ian Poulter, who he's got a great relationship with, and Paul Casey. He admires both players for going away to the States and trying to prove themselves over there. Then, of course, Darren Clarke's come into the mix a month ago by winning the Dutch Open, albeit against a slightly weakened field.
Do you think Poulter is already assured of a place? Because this is where a lot of controversy has come, that he's gone off to earn some more prize money elsewhere in the Deutsche Bank Open, where he's missed the cut by some distance, as indeed has Paul Casey.
Yeah. Well, Faldo speaks to those 2 players on a regular basis, and I was actually wandering around the practice range at the Open, and Faldo and Poulter are very close. I mean, Faldo walked over to Poulter, he was just flicking a few 6-irons and said, "Morning, darling," and Poulter says, "I'm all right, thanks, sweetheart, how are you?" So, I mean, they have got a very close relationship. Casey is a street fighter, a fantastic match play player who can get on really hot streaks, and he's a superb player, and if he could hold a few putts he'd be winning some big events.
What's the case for Monty, do you think? I mean, apart from the fact that he always does so well in Ryder Cups, the Americans are fearful of him, aren't they? But, you know, he's missed cut after cut and just doesn't look in form. Can you rely on him yet again to pull something out of the bag?
Personally, no. I think, you know, you're looking at him as an elder statesman, but all players reach a certain sell-by date, and he has had an absolutely wretched season. If Faldo's going to have 4 rookies in there, so maybe the case for Pettersson is gone out the window. He won't want a 5th rookie. But Casey, very experienced Ryder Cup player, has only lost 1 match out of 10. He, of course, won a match with a hole-in-one at the last event, which was sensational. Poulter's Ryder Cup record, funnily enough, is only played in 2004. He had 1 innocuous singles win when it was already a dead rubber, and he was pretty much overlooked for the foursomes and 4-balls. Whereas Darren Clarke, 3 wins out of 3 in 2006, he could go in and play that elder statesman's senior role